Season 2 of the Winx Saga is currently in production at Netflix. Here's everything we know about Fate, a Winx Saga Season 2 so far, which includes the news that filming has begun, the new cast members along with the upcoming plot of Season 2, and some things you can expect to see. Will there be a second season and when? Yes, there will indeed be a second season. Netflix has just confirmed the news, which is significant. What's the best part? Season 2 will have 2 extra episodes than Season 1. The first season's 6 episodes barely scratch the surface of this incredibly rich world and the powerful fairies who inhabit it. I can't wait to tell you more about Aisha, Stella, Tara, and Musa as Bloom's story progresses. And you never know who might show up at Alfea the following term, said writer Brian Young in a statement. Despite the popularity of the show, the second season was not immediately canceled, with Netflix following its usual practice of waiting a month or so before confirming the news. But with so many loose ends and cliffhangers at the end of the season, cutting the magical adventure short would have been cruel. The supernatural coming-of-age series showrunner and executive producer will be Brian Young, creator of The Vampire Diaries. Season 1 was released in January, so we'd expect Netflix to stick to its successful release schedule, with Season 2 arriving around the same time in 2022. Cast of Season 2. Once again, there's no concrete information about Fate, the Winx Saga Season 2, and the cast has unfortunately not been announced yet, but we anticipate that all of the characters who are still alive will return for more. In other words, Abigail Cowan, Bloom, Danny Griffin, Sky, Hannah Vanderwesthuizen, Stella, Alicia Applebaum, Musa, Precious Mustafa, Aisha, and Elliot Salt Tara will all be back. Sadie Sutherall, Beatrix, Theo Graham, Dane, Freddie Thorpe, Riven, Jacob Dudman, Sam, and Robert James Collier, Silva are also expected to return. It wouldn't be a new school year at Alfea without some fresh faces, and one of them will definitely excite original Winx Club fans. Along with the special announcement that production has begun, Netflix also revealed that Brandon Grace will play Gray, Éanna Hardwicke will play Sebastian, and Paulina Chávez will play Flora. What could Season 2 be about? A lot of things happen at the end of Season 1. Bloom gains a new level of fairy power, gaining her fiery fairy wings and defeating an army of burned ones. Rosalind, the highly manipulative former headmistress of Alfea, brutally murders headmistress Farrah Dowling and seizes control of the school with the Queen of Solaria and her army's assistance. Bloom then tells her parents that she is a changeling, a fairy who was switched at birth with their human baby, and they seem to accept and love her the same way. The Queen reveals that Sky's father, Andreas, has been hiding and raising Beatrix, Rosalind's dangerous teenage henchwoman, all these years. Rosalind, perhaps most importantly, explains who the monster burned ones are and how they're linked to Bloom. There's a legend here. It dates back 1,000 years. By the way, the burned ones are that old. They were soldiers from a long ago conflict. The legend is about the spells that were used against them. They were created by it. It has a lot of power. It's primitive. The flame of the dragon it burns within our changeling friend, she tells Dowling before murdering her. That's a lot to unpack, and it's not even the end of it. First and foremost on the list of unanswered questions, who are Bloom's true fairy parents? Is Dowling truly dead, or will she resurrect to aid Rosalind in her defeat? Was Beatrix lying about her origins in Aster Dell, or was she a blood witch? Are Dane and Riven, the 2 characters with the most chemistry in my opinion, going to end up together? All of these possibilities and more could be explored in a second season. Which classic Winx character might we see in Season 2? In a recent interview, Abigail Cowan, who plays Bloom, revealed that if the show was renewed for a second season, they may introduce Flora, a beloved character from the original cartoons. Flora and Tecna were replaced in Fate by an entirely new character, the Earth Fairy Tara, who the creator Brian Young explained is Flora's cousin. Some fans were outraged by this decision, as well as the overall casting of Fate, pointing out the exclusion of Flora, who is Latina in the cartoons, and the apparent and obvious whitewashing of characters like Musa, who was originally depicted as East Asian, but is now portrayed by an actress who appears to be Caucasian. Musa's actor, Alicia Applebaum, told Digital Spy, "It's unfortunate that fans were dissatisfied with the casting. I wasn't involved in the casting, but I hope they liked what they saw and how I portrayed Musa." Cowan also addressed the casting concerns, telling the Wrap, "If we were fortunate enough to get a second season, I believe Flora would be brought in, and I definitely would welcome that. I'm not involved in the casting process, but if the series is renewed for a second season, I hope these concerns can be addressed, because I believe diversity in front of and behind the camera is vital and much needed throughout the industry and internationally, so I believe it's critical that we have these discussions." What about the series controversy? controversy. Naturally, with a franchise as popular as the Winx Club, any live-action adaptation will be scrutinized. Aside from the show's quality, the most contentious issue has been the casting decisions. In particular, the role of Musa, whose design was inspired by Chinese-American actress Lucy Liu, was not given to an actress of Asian descent, but instead was cast with Emily Applebaum. Flora's character was dropped in favor of Elliot Salt's Tara Harvey, which enraged fans even more. Despite the fact that Salt has hinted at Flora's possible appearance in the second season, and we can confirm this to be the case shortly, these controversies were arguably insufficient to justify canceling the show. What the cast have been saying about Season 2. When asked if Season 2 is already in the works, Sadie Sutherall, who plays the rebellious Beatrix, said, "I hope so. I hope if there is, we get to find out a bit more about Beatrix's past, because I'd love to know what happens." Meanwhile, Alicia Applebaum recently told Brief Take that if the show returns, she plans to change her approach to playing Mind Fairy Musa, who is almost always wearing headphones. "It was a very strange period in which I thought Musa listened to rock music, and I thought it would be really heavy music, and that she wouldn't have to think about anything else but listening to this wild music," Applebaum said of her approach to the first season. But when you watch it, it's obviously very calm and sort of meditative music, which would also make a lot of sense. If there's going to be a Season 2, it's definitely something I'll have to remember and take into that, because she softens up throughout. The entire series based on the book. Premise of the book series. The book series was the beginning of the Winx. The series follows the adventures of the Winx, a group of girls who attend the Alfea College for Fairies and transform into fairies to fight villains. Bloom, the red-haired leader with the fire-based abilities, is joined by Stella, the fairy of the sun, Flora, the fairy of nature, Musa, the fairy of music, and Aisha, the fairy of waves. Roxy, the animal fairy, occasionally joins the Winx, and all three of the show's production companies name her as the 7th member of the Winx Club. The main male characters are the Specialists, a group of Red Fountain school students who are also the Winx fairies' boyfriends. Bloom's fiancé Sky, Stella's fiancé Brandon, Flora's boyfriend Helia, Techna's boyfriend Timmy, and Musa's boyfriend Riven are among them. Unlike their female counterparts, the Specialists lack magical abilities and instead train to fight with laser weapons. The most common foes of the Winx and Specialists are a trio of witches known as the Tricks: Icy, Darcy, and Stormy, all former students of the Cloud Tower School. Winx Club takes place in a vast universe with multiple dimensions. The majority of the episodes take place in the magic dimension, which is off limits to ordinary people and home to creatures from European mythology, such as fairies, witches, and monsters. The capital of this world is Magix, which is located on the planet of the same name and is home to the 3 main magic schools: Bloom's home planet, Domino; Stella's home planet, Solaria; Flora's home planet, Lynphea; Techna's home planet, Zenith; Musa's home planet, Melody; and Aisha's home planet, Andros, are among the other planets of the magic dimension. Some episodes take place on Earth, Roxy's home planet, and the place where Bloom grew up. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the second installment of the Winx series, and all the juicy details we currently know. Now, this new series won't be released anytime soon, but at least we have some more info, and we can eagerly wait for its arrival. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Did you read the book series as a kid? I know I did. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.